In this week's Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to 1,361 calls for service. This included more than 1,043 emergency medical calls and 89 fire calls. This week, one person was injured in a two-car collision in Pasadena, and a Glen Burnie family's home was rendered uninhabitable after a late afternoon fire ripped through the residence and sent a column of thick black smoke into the air that could be seen for miles. With me now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox from the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief.
On Tuesday, Anne Arundel County firefighters were called to the intersection of Catherine Avenue and 207th Street in the community of Greenhaven. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported a two-vehicle collision with entrapment. Firefighters and paramedics, utilizing specialized rescue tools, were able to successfully remove the door of one vehicle and gain access to the injured and trapped patient. The patient was fully immobilized by crews operating on the scene as a precaution and ultimately transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center in Glen Burnie for further evaluation. A second incident this week also occurred on Tuesday. Around 4:48 p.m., Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire in the 100 block of Warfield Road in the Brooklyn Park area of the county. The first arriving units reported visible fire and heavy smoke throughout the first floor and attic spaces of a one-story split foyer-type home. At that time, additional resources were requested and an interior fire attack was initiated by the first arriving crews. In all, it took more than 50 firefighters about 30 minutes to bring the two-alarm incident under control. There was one occupant, a 13-year-old girl, home at the time of the fire. The occupant was able to escape prior to the fire department's arrival. However, she did suffer minor injuries in the process. She was evaluated at the scene by fire department paramedics and ultimately transported to Harbor Hospital Center via ground ambulance for treatment. The fire, which originated in the interior of the dwelling, caused an estimated $110,000 in damages. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation by county fire investigators. However, the incident is believed to be accidental in nature.
Thank you, Chief. County fire officials advised that the home was rendered inhabitable and the local chapter of the American Red Cross was assisting the family with temporary housing.
Well, folks, there's more Week in Review to come. Take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around your county. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back, folks. Well, as we've been telling you here on Week in Review, it's model government. And this is the time of year when our county officials will look a lot younger. High school students from all around our county are participating in student model government. And that means that our county executive, county councilman, and folks like me and Tracy have shadows with us doing our jobs. And today we've got one of those students, South River Junior, Jillian Buck. Jillian, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Jillian, what got you interested in this program? This is your second year being involved in the Anne Arundel County Model Government Program.
It is. I've been involved with student government, and so last year I applied for the program and enjoyed it a lot, so I decided to apply again this year.
Well, we love having you back. What are some things that you've learned shadowing the various county officials that you've shadowed? You had a chance to shadow me, and you also shadowed the councilman from District 7, Trish Johnson from last time. What are some things that you've pulled away from your experience?
Well, last year we went to the landfill, so that was extremely interesting and educational. I'm very environmentally aware, so that was nice. And then being able to do the Mott County Council and sit as a councilman was very interesting as well. And today has been a lot of fun. Good. Getting to go through the grant meeting. That was very eye-opening and interesting to see how the government works.
Great. So do you have any aspirations of one day getting a job in government?
Eventually, after college and a few years out in the career field, I would like to come back into politics.
Yeah, well, that would be great. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do at South River? You play sports. I understand you run cross country? And you've been giving me a little lesson. Thank you.
Yes, I run cross country. I'm in NHS. I'm on the robotics team. I'm the captain of the JV team.
Oh, wow.
So in the community, I'm a Girl Scout. I'm involved in CRASC, the county SGA. So lots of various activities.
Great activities.
And with all that, Tracy, she maintains a GPA of?
I have a 4.1 weighted and 3.72 unweighted.
Very good.
She doesn't sleep. I mean,
She must not.
A lot of activities
She must
to be
not.
involved in. Well, another big activity that I learned that you're involved in, you're one of 3 in about a week's time here, maybe 2 weeks' time, that'll be running for one of the most important positions for a student in the entire country, and that's our Anne Arundel County student member on the Board of Education. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the student member on the Board of Education in Anne Arundel County, it's the only full voting rights SMOB in the country. So it's a very big honor to be able to even run for the position, and I'm very excited about it. I've been involved with CRASC, which is the group that elects the SMOB, since the 6th grade, and I've wanted to run for SMOB since 6th grade.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about the election.
So do you bring the students' perspective to the board? Is that what happens?
Yes, that's the job of the SMOB. And knowing so many students throughout the country and being willing and able to work with both students and adults, I think I would be very good for the position.
Great. Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you
That
very
sounds
much.
great.
Best of luck indeed. Tell us a little bit about, Jillian, you've got a very well-rounded life going on here. For students your age, what do you see as the biggest challenge to today's youth in the county?
Well, there are many, of course. I think that the pressures of college and different education is a lot of pressure, and so it's very challenging for that. The grades and maintaining and competitions are so fierce for it now.
And it's expensive.
It
It's
is
more expensive than
extremely
ever
expensive.
before. And as you said, there's a lot of competition to get in, and then
And
for the
scholarships.
scholarships and the grants and the money that's out there. So I would imagine that is a big hurdle. Keep going, though. Don't give up.
Well, you definitely represent the students of Anne Arundel County very well.
Thank
we
you.
wish you best of luck in your election to student member on the Board of Education. I know that would be a joy to have you down there on the board, so good luck to you. And that's the 24th of March, correct?
It
is that
is
election?
2 weeks from today.
Coming up quick. Well, folks, you heard it here. One of our finest students here in Anne Arundel County, Miss Jillian Buck. Jillian, thanks for joining us on the program. And folks at home, stay tuned. We'll be back for much more Anne Arundel County Week in Review.